Good morning and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be divided into two parts. The first part will be what is the value of my orange Maluch or a Maluch in general, and part two will be about how much money I have invested into the car over the course of the last 11 years. If this was a YouTube Shorts video, the answers will be very little to nothing and a lot of money. However, this is not a YouTube Shorts video, so let me elaborate a little bit on this one. So part one of this video is the value of my orange Maluch or a Maluch in general, and I believe there are many answers to this question. Obviously it depends on who you ask. If you ask a regular person about the value of my Maluch or a Maluch in general, the most probable answer will be it is a very cute looking car, in my case with a nice paint job, but it doesn't have any significant value. On the other hand, there are people like you and I who not only think this is a cute car with, well, let's be honest, a magnificent paint job, but it holds so much more value. Of course, we don't hold up the value against a number of money, because for most of us, these cars have a sentimental value that is very hard to match with money. I am very curious about your thoughts on this one, so comment down below, and I'm looking forward to having a discussion with you. And this basically concludes part one of this video. Part two is going to be about how much money I've invested into the car over the course of almost 11 years. However, it's 7:30 in the morning, it's still rather fresh, so I am postponing recording part two to the afternoon. Maybe change the location, I don't know yet. However, don't go anywhere. For you it will be just only a cut away, so stay tuned. Bye. Well, I did change the location and I've come back to where I've been a number of times before. So let's get started with part two of the video. I am, first of all, very sorry for the noise in the background. That's what you get for recording on location. Anyway, for those of you who have been following my channel for quite some time, may or may not know that I bought the car in 2010, and back then it looked completely different, and it has gone through some major changes over the last almost 11 years. But let me start at the beginning. It was November or December 2010 when I bought the car for 2,000 euros. Then I had to transport the car back to Austria, which was 360 euros, and as soon as the car was in Austria I had to register it, obviously. And this is a fairly similar process to a regular technical inspection that the cars have to go through every year. It is just slightly more expensive. It was 120 euros. Then I had to pay the standard consumption tax, and at this point in time I was able to get my license plates. These cost 185 euros back then, and clearly I have to pay insurance for the car, but that is a very low amount, which I am not talking about in this video. So, having the car now on its license plate, I was finally and officially an owner of a Maluch, a Fiat 126P in Austria, and I was very satisfied with that at this particular moment. However, sometime later I started to have my first thoughts on how to make this car my own, and I started with some minor changes, nothing major. And the first thing I did was to swap the plastic front and rear bumpers for the chrome ones. I bought these in Germany for roughly 190 euros and mounted them myself because it's a very straightforward process. Then I removed the plastic covers here on the doors, and having done that I was left with a lot of holes in the bodywork, and those I had taken care of professionally. And in the same process I had the rims painted black, and this in total cost 950 euros, 700 for the doors including some welding, and 200 euros for having the rims painted black. And at this moment the car looked how I wanted it to look at this time, and I was satisfied with the result. So over the next months, maybe a year or so, I wasn't thinking about anything else but being just satisfied with the car. And then came 2015 and I decided to have the car restored, and that's the moment in time where it got really interesting and very expensive. So just to quickly summarize what has been done during the restoration process: the car has been stripped down, it has been sandblasted in order to apply this paint job. It was then reassembled with new and reconditioned parts. This process took 17 months, which was longer than I had anticipated, and it cost 11,900 euros. Yes, indeed, you heard correctly, 11,900 euros. And this amount didn't even include an overhaul of the engine. So, fast forward 12 months later, it was now 2018 or 2019, I starting to mix up the timelines here. I've decided to have the original engine reconditioned, and this is why I decided to have the car transported to Poland. If I remember correctly, this was the first time, and it cost 650 euros. After the car had arrived in Poland, a few days later, I went there myself by train just to oversee the reconditioning process. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to go through with that, so I started to look for an engine on the internet, and shortly after starting my search, I found one. It was an older model, a 600 cubic centimeter one, but it looked very fantastic, so I bought it immediately and had it installed into the car. As I didn't want to drive back to Austria, I had it transported once again, which was another 650 euros. And here we have to make another time jump for another 12 months. And this was the time that I had finally decided to have the original engine reconditioned and put back into the car. So I bought all the parts that were needed, new ones, reconditioned ones, whatever was needed. I bought them in Poland, so they were fairly cheap, nothing too expensive, maybe 300 euros. And again, I had the car transported to Poland. This time around it was a little bit cheaper, it was 500 euros, and the work was done within a few weeks. At around the same time, I started to have problems with the starter motor and some other minor things, so I had those taken care of as well. And I was charged 1,000 euros for the repair work, and this was too much money, and I've made a separate reaction video on that you can watch by clicking on the banner in the screen in the corner of your screen, or in the link in the description. And finally the car had arrived back in Austria with its original engine, and this brings us at that point in time to a total sum of around 20,000 euros, not counting insurance payments, mechanics visits, technical inspections, fueling the car, and so on and so forth. Including these costs, I guess this would be around 25,000 euros, which is very much money, but that's how it is. Having an older car, there's always something to be done, and I'm not even finished. As I've said in a number of videos, I've been trying to refurbish the interior of the car for a number of years, but still haven't managed to do that. So that's an upcoming project whenever there is time and money. And a funny information on the side: I have now crossed 85,000 kilometers a few days ago on this car. I bought it with almost 75,000 kilometers, which means 10,000 kilometers in almost 11 years. And this means that the kilometer driving in this car costs €2.50. Yeah, that's crazy, that's insane, but that's the way it is. Again, it's an old car, anything can happen at any time, but it's worth it. I love this car, I have fun with this car, and I wouldn't change it for a thing. Yeah, maybe less problems, but that's the way it is. Again, most people will think that I'm crazy, but those who appreciate the love for these cars know what I mean, know what I'm going through. And with that being said, if you're stuck until now, thank you for watching, thank you for your patience. If you liked this video, smash that like button, leave your comments down below, share this video with anyone who likes these cars, likes my topics, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye. So I did switch the location. I came back here where I've been a number of times before. Anyway, for those of you who have been following my channel for quite some time, yeah, shit.